as far as the younger generation, I feel like the unity's like on 10. Like
Okay.
people collaborating, or we pulling up to people's shows, or just different things like that. So I feel like it almost like encourages the older generation to look at us and be like, "Oh snap, the kids out here going crazy." So
Coming live on your radio.
What they want?
That real and raw.
How they get it?
DJ Focus.
What we doing?
Making music, reaching the corner. And it's all for the
And
kingdom.
we gon' make sure they know it.
Ooh, 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 ooh. We gon' take it there. I like red letters over trap beats to fix it saying, ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up. Ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up. Ooh.
Welcome back, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. And it's time for our spiritual detox. And yeah, come on, we got family back. Sis still been making all this wave. I promise you, since she's came on the scene, she has just been a part of everything, and just, hey, it's all the way up. It's all the way lit when we get our sis on. The one and only Wande. What's going on, sis?
hey, what's going on? I'm doing good.
Yeah, you always doing good. That's, I'll say that for real. Like, you have really been just being a part of the culture, and you doing everything. Entrepreneur, phenomenal artist. You represent for the ladies at a high level, and I'm excited to have you back on. So just want to give you some roses because, yeah, you've been doing some powerful things. So come on, let's talk about this Elevate cover.
Yeah.
You involved, talk about just how you got involved with Elevate and everything that is offered in this publication.
Yeah, so Elevate, they reached out to me, and yeah, they just talked to me a little bit about their platform. And then whenever I heard what they were about, I'm like, oh yeah, definitely I want to be plugged into this. And I thought it was really dope that they wanted to highlight different Christian artists and bring us together, because I feel like that's something that we can do sometimes as friends, but I think it's cool to see like other platforms kind of like doing that, like more like in person. And so it was a lot of fun, just for all of us artists to link up and see each other again. It was basically like family. It's like, oh hey, I love y'all. And then yeah, it's just cool like what they're doing as well, just to highlight the culture. I think it's been dope seeing other platforms, even such as yourselves, do it. So it's just cool to see more platforms, put some funding behind it, just like getting the word out about Christian art. Bringing a light, bringing quality journalism to what we're doing. So I thought it was dope.
That's good. Talk about being, nominated or being considered as a trailblazer in our, arena. What did that feel like? Just to, hear that.
Yeah, I mean, that was beautiful, so it's always an honor whenever someone sees your efforts and thinks like, hey, we want to bring some light to this and want to honor it. So definitely honored just to be, a trailblazer out here, and, praise the Lord for, what we're doing and the innovation we're bringing.
So, I know we wanted to know, me and Dice, is there a song or something brewing? I mean, y'all was all together on the set, and I just felt
yeah.
come on. There got to be some music brewing between all y'all that was on that set.
Oh yeah, so definitely like we all be linking up. Some of us have linked up in the past. Like me and Jordan have collabed before. We made a song called My Baby. Me and Stevie even collabed on my last album. So, and even me and Lee. So that was a newer collab. I collabed with her as well, and I did a song. It was a remix to her song called Teach Me. So that's a recent one that came out last month. So yeah, different collabs, brewing around here.
Yeah. So come on, we got to talk a little music. First, before we get on your latest track, I got to talk about this Stay Low remix. Talk about that. That it was already a classic, and then y'all went and y'all added Jackie Hill Perry to that thing.
Yeah.
Talk about just working with Jackie and just bringing that sisterhood together.
Yeah, honestly, that was legendary. So I'm honored to be on song with Jackie. We love Jackie over here. So that was beautiful just to even have that, bring Jackie out, because she was taking a little break, to focus on her speaking, because obviously that's a gift as well. So just even having her bring out her gift and just collab with all of us other women who are out here doing our thing. I think that was a beautiful thing just to be able to experience. And I think it was cool too, because all of us on the song have a different style. So I feel like it was cool seeing everybody just continue to be themselves and see that highlighted.
Come on, send that. This thing right here is it's a whole problem. I already feel like this is a summertime anthem. Talk about the inspiration of, we'll send that track, of course, with LeCrae on it.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. Oh yeah, I'm tripping. I'm thinking of Stay Low. I was like, he's not on that song. I was like, what?
Send that.
Yeah, too many songs. There's a lot of S's. A lot of 2 words with S's.
I'm about to say that is your song too, Wanda. We play it every day.
That is your song. Yeah. So, oh no, that song was great. So it was dope having him on there. I was like, there's 5 girls. I don't I don't remember.
Don't remember Cray on that, huh?
Yeah. Nah, but yeah, so yeah, having LeCrae on Send That was amazing. That song Send That is really just about like anything that you're battling in life, realizing like you don't have to take on the burden of those things. Like you don't have to hold grudges and you don't have to hold those burdens to yourself, but you can send them up to the Lord, and the Lord will advocate on your behalf for whatever needs to be done. And just realizing like, a lot of things are above you. A lot of things, when you're trying to handle it on your own, it wasn't even meant to be a battle that you were supposed to handle on your own anyway. So we just sending them up to God and letting him handle that. And even just with everything in life, we send praises up to God. We send our prayers up to God. We send everything up to the Lord, and we let him, take control of whatever the outcome may be, and he can handle that situation. So that was that. And then just collabing, LeCrae walked in the studio. I was working on it. And then he was like, hold on, can I be on your song? I was like, of course. What kind of question is that, LeCrae? And so that's how that ended up happening. He got the feature back real fast too. So shout out to him.
Well, LeCrae always working, and shouts out to being able to just be in the studio and Cray walking and say, "Oh, let me bless that." That's what's up.
Yeah.
One thing we've always talked about your music. You've always been transparent, and you've always talked about real life issues and struggles and triumphs. How do you balance what you choose to give your audience in your music?
Yeah, I think honestly, what I choose to give my audience, I talk to the Lord about it. So I feel like whenever you pray to God, he can give you discernment on what needs to be shared, how many details you need to share, and different things like that. So I honestly just pray to the Lord for like what he wants me to reveal, to talk about. I do that on a song by song basis anyway, about what he wants me to talk about. And from there, I just let, the Holy Spirit guide like what needs to be said. And I feel like with God there's no shame in anything, so if he wants you to talk about it, then just let it breathe so it can bless somebody.
So we working on a new project. What we got? What we
Big
got?
fact. Y'all getting a project this year.
Okay, we getting a full project this year.
A full project. Y'all gonna be fed. It's gonna be great.
Any guest collabs we can say off top? Anybody that we wouldn't know that's on it?
Well, LeCrae, he gonna be on it.
Right.
Who else gonna be on it? RG, he gonna be on it.
Okay.
I think of who else you might know. Portia, you gonna see a Portia appearance. So
why don't y'all stop playing? Why you and Portia ain't did a mixtape yet? Y'all know y'all two just click so good. Y'all just need to do a little mixtape.
We're working on it. We tried to part one, but life got busy, so we have to. We're spinning the block again. We're gonna make it happen though.
That's good. Listen, we were all saddened by, unfortunately, the Girls Night Tour, Girls Night Out Tour canceled. Would you be going on tour this summer, or you be hopping on some tours?
So for the fall, stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing a little one day tour. So it'll be probably based around the album as well. So stay tuned for that as well. So I'll be excited to see who will come along with me, and it's gonna be a fun time.
Oh, that's a soft ass. Listen, everybody, you're gonna have to argue with some people. Say, no, y'all can't be on this. Too many people already. As soon as you announce that, it's Mental Health Month. So I do want to ask you, what do you do for your mental health? What keeps your mental well-being intact with balancing everything? I mean, still kind of fresh, married. Everything you do ministry-wise, everything you do with your art. What keeps your mental well-being intact?
Yeah, I think for me, what keeps my mental well-being intact is being proactive. So instead of reactive, so I try to be proactive of like setting up systems in my life to protect me. Like, so I have therapy that I go to monthly. I also read my Bible, things like that. I also have quality friends. I feel like those three things are like a great, support system that kind of sets you up for success. I think whenever you're not proactive about those particular things, like who's in your circle, who's like giving you advice, I think that's whenever your mental health can kind of deteriorate, because if something goes wrong and you go to your friends, but then they ain't your real friends,
right,
they ain't gonna support you. Or for instance, with the word of God, with that being where I find my advice, if I'm not finding my advice rooted in something that's solid, a solid foundation, then it might just tell you, yeah, your life's gonna fall apart. It's over. It's the end. Some people may find that in music, versus like the word of God is like, no, it's not the end. There's actually more. You have something to look forward to. You have eternity. Even though you go through trials, the Lord is still with you. So different things like that, I feel like help me along my journey with like my mental health, as life gets busy, as life gets crazy.
We talk about it all the time on the show, the balance of unity. What do you think the culture of Christian hip hop is right now, with unifying? And I know so I take that back. The ladies have been representing. I don't think this has been too much of a issue for the ladies, but just in your humble opinion, what do you think the state of the culture of Christian hip hop is right now?
I think as far as the younger generation, I feel like the unity's like on 10, like people collaborating, or we pulling up to people's shows, or just different things like that. So I feel like it almost like encourages the older generation to look at us and be like, oh snap, the kids out here going crazy. So but yeah, I think the collaboration is actually really high. I feel like it's almost like positive peer pressure where people will see other people linking up and then be like, yeah, man, I need to go outside more. Let me go talk to people more. Like, let me reach out to people more. Like, let me not be in my own little bubble. So I think it's been really cool. But I think people are really supportive, and it's a great space.
Talk about your brand. I know you got your brand itself. What else are you were pushing outside of your music that you got going this year?
Yeah, so I mean, we in a rebrand season, so right now,
Okay.
music, man. So the
Just
music.
music.
So, but stay tuned for the music situations. I have merch though, so if you want to support, we definitely appreciate if you buy some, Wande merch. So we have out there, we have like Walk in the Light shirts and stuff like that. But yeah, man, right now, other than that, I just encourage people on the internet. I encourage people through writing. I do have a brand that's like it's like an online encouragement brand, I guess I would call it. It's like a ministry more of versus like a brand. But it's called What's Up Bestie. And so with What's Up Bestie, I like to encourage women just daily, honestly, of like, Bible verses to encourage them. I write devotionals on there that I post where people can read about different topics. And I kind of cover Bible, beauty, and business. So it's like the holistic thing that can help women. So with that, you get the Bible with the devotionals that I post. Beauty, sometimes I'll post like tutorials of like, oh, hey, here's how I did my natural hair, or hey, here's how I did my makeup for today. Just like little tips that can help women as well who maybe don't know what to do. And business, sometimes from time to time I post like, oh, here's how I got to where I am today. So little things like that. I think that's one thing that I do on the side as well. That is to encourage women. It's kind of like a passion project. It's really just like, oh, I just want to share it just because. So that's one thing I do on the side.
Listen, and I know the ladies appreciate you for doing that. I know I think on your social media, you kind of like, recently rededicated your life to Christ. You kind of got baptized again. Talk
Yeah.
about that and why was that so important to do that?
Yeah, so that was a beautiful moment. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that to happen because it's funny. I pulled up to church that day, I saw the baptism thing. I was like, "Oh, that's so adorable! My homie's getting baptized. Like that's great." And it was crazy. Like while I was sitting there, I felt like God was like, "Yeah, I really want you to, rebaptize yourself." And I was like, "This is gonna look kind of crazy." And I was like, "You sure, Lord?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." And so I had to actually, rid myself of any personal pride that I may have had. Cause like I know internally I was like, oh, I'm gonna look kind of crazy. People gonna be like, ain't Wanda already saved? Like, why is she walking down to get baptized? But it was actually the opposite. People were super supportive, and actually a lot of leaders at our church actually got baptized that day. And like we didn't even know, like we saw each other once we got to the table to like sign up to do it. And it was a beautiful thing, honestly. And I feel like I think after I was like obedient, I feel like the Lord like revealed to me different things. I think I'm like entering a new season of my life where he's going to use me in a different way. And I think also just like I reflected on certain things, like I used to be a part of like a sorority that I left. And so even that, I feel like God was showing me a new way of publicly expressing my love for Christ because like, for instance, like with that sorority, you have to publicly announce like that you're being made into a new person with that. So it was almost like, okay, keeping the same energy also for Jesus afterwards. But yeah, I think different things like that are the reasons why I like chose to, redo that situation. And I feel like, yeah, it's been beautiful. Like the Lord's been with me. And it's been also just cool hearing stories from other people who were encouraged by that situation.
Was it tough for you to leave the sorority that you were a part of?
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course, if you like something, it's like I'm not trying to leave. Like, but I think God like revealed to me different things that are like, if you really truly believe that the Lord is your Lord and He like, it has the authority over your life, and you value what He says in the Bible over, your personal opinion of things. I think that is will help make anything easier, no matter like whatever He tells you to let go for God.
Was that always easy for you? It sounds so easy the way you say it, but I know a lot of people that struggle with submitting. A lot of people get the revelation, but they don't submit to it. Was that hard for you?
I think it's not the first time He's told me to leave something. It can be hard though. So I would say it's never easy. It's like you might have to do it while screaming and be like, I have to press send. But I think yeah, it's just kind of like if you look at your eternity, it's like, do I want to spend eternity with Jesus or not?
Right.
And so
Right.
it's like after that, it's like, I am choosing Jesus over these material things. It's definitely fine. So I think whenever you weigh things like that and you weigh of like just the majesty of who God is, it's like this is much better than anything I could gain or accumulate on earth. So I think stuff like that makes it much better and much easier to be like, okay, of course the correct answer is I'm choosing God.
That's good. Last question. I'm gonna get you out of here. Definitely want to ask. What has God showed you in your marriage? They say the first 5 years is like the foundation years.
Yeah.
What has God showed you maybe about yourself, about your spouse, that maybe you didn't know about yourself before you got married? Now that
Yeah,
you're
I
married.
think God has definitely taught me selflessness in marriage and humility in marriage.
Mm,
It's funny, my husband, he over here, he said, "Oh yeah, let's talk about let's talk about that." But I definitely think God has taught me that a lot because yeah, you with somebody else. So it ain't about you. It ain't about how you grew up. It ain't about, how you do things. It's like there's two of us. It's unity. And so I think he just showed me like you should be concerned with loving that person so much. And so you have to die to flesh, which is what you learn in your faith. So which is why it's really important to, have a relationship with God before you get married, because then it's not as hard because you're already doing that with God. So then it's like now just apply this to this new relationship that you have. But yeah, definitely a refinement. I think you might think you good, then you get in a relationship, you say, "Oh, there's still some more refining to do." He gonna still refine me, but I think it's good. It just helps you, go deeper and deeper, and God just shows you more and more of like who you thought you were. It's like, oh, you thought, but we still go, chisel a little bit out, iron sharpen iron type stuff.
that's good. You think you're preaching in the future? I know you do. You do your thing on the mic, but do you see maybe ministering behind the pulpit? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Some people have said that. So, I
Uh,
probably do see it coming in the future. We're gonna see how God's gonna end up doing it. So we'll stay
yeah.
tuned.
Spirit, recognize spirit. Listen. The whole interview, I'm like, yeah, she gonna be preaching eventually. Listen, I thank you, Wande, for tapping in with us. Listen, can you tell the people how they connect with you, follow you on your social media platforms, and please introduce your latest single.
Yeah, so you can keep up with me online at OMG It's Wande, or just social media streaming platforms with Wande, WANDE. And yeah, check out my new single, Send That, featuring LeCrae. It's a lituation, turn up. You already know. You checked in with the Fixx Radio.
The Fixx is in.